Guys, we're back with a new video. It's awesome that you're tuning in, because we're going to take a close look at this new Gamebox 4K Ultra HD game stick. Game stick? Wait, what? It isn't game system, but they call it a game stick. Are they just being lazy and reusing the boxes? Doesn't matter. Professional game chip. This is going to be interesting. Connect TV. Double rocker control. 2.4 GHz wireless and classic games. And they also call it like the B01. There is no information whatsoever. They're also going to put it like it's 2.4 GHz wireless. And they're talking about the controllers. But let's take a close look in the inside. What are we going to get? Okay, so what you're going to get most of the times nowadays, they are like grabbing old TV boxes from the shelf and relabeling them. I don't know if this box ever got sold. Don't know. They added some nice decals like Gamebox on it. At the side we're going to get two USB ports. At the back we're going to get an input. It's by the way in 12-volt 1 amp that is needed. And TF card. Let's check it out how big this bad boy is. Comes with a 64 gigabytes. So I'm curious what kind of stuff they added. We have an AV out function. Take consideration that doesn't always work. HDMI and an 1 port or Ethernet connection. That's it. Yeah. So let's take a close look at the box itself, because I'm just curious what I'm going to get. So it's a TV box, so it comes with a remote, also with this weird plug, 12-volt power supply. Yeah, okay. We're going to get. They are smelling quite chemical, and this is like the cheap controllers. Two of them, Yahoo! HDMI cable. And we're going to get this on this deluxe. It's in English. Toilet paper manual explanation. How does it work? It seems to be that it's running on ME-ELEC, and it's going to be like a freaking Android box again. But let's boot it up and let's see where I actually can play on this thing. This thing wicked, yeah. So the first thing they already messed up, there is no on and off switch whatsoever. So what you need to do is plug it in and it will boot up straight away. So you'll notice like it says Android, what I already mentioned, this thing is just basically like a very old Android box. It comes with the software. It says here ME-ELEC, and it is more like 3.6 if I've seen it correctly. And if you pop up the card, it will basically boot up in the normal Android menu. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the menu itself. And I must say that the menu, I do like this hyperspin effect. Compatibility, you can say like ME-ELEC runs a lot of different emulators. But if it's going to run on this device, that is more like a second question that we need to ask ourselves. Because it's a cheap device, it's similar to the Super Consoles in a lot of ways. So don't expect a lot of good performance when it comes to the high-end stuff. Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, stuff like that. So here you can change out a lot of settings. Yeah, pressing the wrong button. The menu itself, update download. So if you want to basically update it, it's still running on kind of a weird old version 3.6. I'm running on a 720p moment at the moment. You can change a lot of stuff like aspect ratio, rewind, you name it. But let's take a close look at some, let's say, high-end stuff games. Yeah. Okay, first off, let's start with PlayStation 1. So we've reached the point that a lot of these systems will run PlayStation 1 pretty good or very well. So here you can see like they're running it on the native resolution most of the time. But if you want to enjoy some PlayStation 1, you can do so even on cheaper boxes. The D-pad is not working. There it is. Just want to check it for sure. But this looks that it is playing the PlayStation 1 games very well. Next up, let's try N64 game. That is the thing I wanted to see. If it struggles and it glitches out. It doesn't glitch out, but you can see that this game doesn't run well, and this means like N64 will be a mixed bag on this device. I know a lot of people really want to play some N64 games from the childhood. But yeah, it's highly possible that your game will not run. Of course, like, because of the mixed bag, there are so many different games that are not running well. It's very hard to, basically to pinpoint which game will run or not. But when you're going to get yourself like a Super Console X PC, or they call it like the Super Console PC editions, they are powerful enough to run the game without any hiccups whatsoever. Wanna take it for a ride. The question remains, how will Sega Dreamcast run? So what we're going to try, we're going to first a two-dimensional game, and then we're going to try out a three-dimensional game just to see how good this will run on this cheap gamebox system. Great test how to check out the D-pad. D-pad is really sturdy and really awful. So that's what we're going to test out. Super move. I must say that I'm quite surprised when it comes to the two-dimensional part with Sega Dreamcast. I'm not surprised to see some glitches, because it's still running on a chipset like AIM Logic that will have the problems. Some really weird glitches, but overall, like, the performance is not bad. Beep 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 beep.
Assume level 1 defense formation.
Hold the B button down to lock off. Release it to fire a homing missile.
Level 1 security door breach. Emergency formation. Intercept intruder.
I must say that I'm surprised by this. Like, the three-dimensional games also run very well. This game glitches out like crazy. But I'm surprised, like, I wanted to say like it's actually playable, but it's stuck and it froze. Yeah, that just happened. So when you're looking at PlayStation Portable, this is a system that will never run very good on a, let's say, piece of hardware like this. Two-dimensional stuff, like maybe a Metal Slug game or something else, is highly possible it runs. Okay, with some minor slowdowns and some glitches. But don't expect to run God of War in this. Okay, so I finally got it open. It was a little bit of a challenge because they clicked it and screwed it. So let's click it out. There is nothing that holds this main board in place. So that's it, boys. It's just two plastic shells and a tiny board. The tiny board, there is no production date or there is no information to indicate that this thing is specially made for this. So I think I'm right that this is just like an old piece of hardware. They slapped some sticker on it and that's it. Sadly, I couldn't remove the cooling, so we can't see what's on the chip itself. We're going to get two RAM chips. Where all the magic happens is beneath there. This is just basically the only cooling. There is no fan whatsoever. And then of course like the storage capacity that we're not going to need because they give us like a 64 gigabyte card. That's where all the files and of course IMEI will be. But then overall, like, this is what you're going to get. You can just make it yourself. These are like the cheap boxes. And when it comes to specifications, don't be surprised that it's just like the Super Console X or even lesser.